You're tuned into News Across the Galaxy, where they talk all things LA Galaxy with the Nag Boys. Let's start nagging.
Two, one.
Couldn't cut it like what? Tired of living like a blind man. Sick of sight without a sense of feeling. This is how you remind me.
Sir, we're live.
Oh shit! A little neck rituals that nobody's supposed to see.
Yeah. Welcome to News Across the Galaxy, where we talk all things LA Galaxy. I am your host, Bryant Lobos, and tonight joining me, my compadre, Mr. Edward Campos. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing good, man. We got the pink lights here. Honor the fallen. Oh shit! Dropped my headphones. Fucking up all day. Honoring the the mighty have fallen. So honoring the poor since 2023 Miami fans. You know,
That's what they get. And on the
yeah.
ones and twos, Chuyaso. How you doing, Chuyaso?
Hey, what up? What up? Doing good?
Yes, sir. And on the special mic, we got Goots,
On the sideline reporter.
silent reporter.
The Goots.
Is it Goots? He's in here somewhere.
El pecho frío no sirve para nada.
So today's a special episode. We will get into a little bit of the LA Galaxy, but we are going to cover some MLS stuff. But before that, how are you guys been? How are you guys doing? Eddie, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Just to finish my thoughts. Well, fans of MLS since 2023, welcome to the cruel world that is MLS playoffs, right? This shit happens. As you can see, in your honor, I got my fisherman hat because y'all motherfuckers going fishing. I got bucket hats for all you guys back there.
Gone fishing. Man, it would have been cool. We would have made a graphic for that one, but for next time, for next year. Do you want to start off with the hot news that it is that Miami got eliminated?
Sure, I guess, and then I'm gonna steal this from Tucker. Somebody's got to do a wellness check in the Garber family because Tom Garber ain't doing too well, I'm sure, today.
Yeah, I had made a joke on one of the MLS IG posts that the admin was sick. He was punching the air because their baby got eliminated by a team that has had quite the story. They ended up coming in to this playoff contention by the way of a wild card game.
Yeah,
Um,
and you know what? I'm not even mad. I'm kind of happy that it is the Atlanta's because I look at like Atlanta and then I look at like Seattle's. I think those are like those two teams that kind of took us to the next like MLS level. So they're not originals, but they're like they're trendsetters. So it's kind of cool to see them with their struggles eliminate this plastic ass team.
yeah, and well, the way they got in there on decision day, I don't know if you guys ended up watching that match between Orlando and Atlanta. Orlando hosted Atlanta. Atlanta went over there and kicked butt, and they snuck into the playoff position. Went into the wild card, got away out of there safely, went into the next round, and of course, everybody had Miami winning the whole thing, including Garber, because he was giving them every opportunity and every call and whatever he was telling the rest to do. They were doing it to give Miami the upper hand, but not this time.
By the way, did you see the little thing that that Rice Squad tweeted about Guzan?
No, I did not.
They did the zombie lyrics from the Cranberries. Yeah, you saw it?
I did it.
No.
That's hilarious.
In my head, Guzan. Yeah,
Shout out to LA Riot Squad for coming
that shit
out.
was hilarious. I was dying. I was reading it. It was like, oh, that's funny. That's funny.
That's hilarious. Well, one of the things that happened at match, not controversial, but something that I guess after Miami had scored a goal, Luis Suarez ended up pushing Brad Guzan into the back of the net, and those little things that Miami players do, seeing the the kind of the record that Luis Suarez has, that's kind of makes what makes most of us MLS fans hate Miami. Those
Yeah.
little things, right? And in this match, I mean, there was no love lost between them. They were going at it. Um, Again, the surprise in this match was Atlanta. And but what can we say about what happened with Miami and the Lionel Messi's?
Yeah, you know what though? It's true what you said, right? It's maybe it's not a red, but you see like kind of nothing of it, right? Like that was a straight. Not even Suarez. Like the Campana push was just
Yeah,
at least deserving of a yellow, right? Because it's a straight up push. It's not a bump or back up my homie. He comes and fucking straight pushes someone from behind,
yeah,
and that's like you said. Those are the reasons why like MLSers dislike teams like Miami because it's like hidden in plain sight, right? Like, oh, we make the jokes about like Garber's babies or whatever, but it's hidden. Like I said, it's hidden in plain sight. So, uh, but what was your question? I'm sorry.
what has happened? What happened in his Miami run? What happened?
Oh,
Why did they not succeed? And I know there's been tales before, and we've seen this before, where the Supporter Shield winners usually don't win MLS Cup. But this is a team with Messi in it. So what happened?
well, shout out to everyone that predicted that once it came to the playoffs, you know, Miami was not going to choke. I mean, was going to choke. I was on that train early, but then I saw them just catch fire, and I was like, nah, this Miami team's just going to run over everybody. So I guess it's just maybe heart, dude, because it's. I mean, I you know was basically raised a Madrista, so I have my own like
Biases against Messi.
biases against Messi, but I didn't see much heart from him, right? It's but then again, yeah, he has won the Champions League, he's won the World Cup, Copa America, but MLS ain't for everybody, baby.
Yeah, it is not. Clearly saw it this weekend in some great playoff matches, and we've seen a lot of PKs throughout these playoffs. What does that tell you about the league, or what does that tell you about this format that we're currently in? Because I'm not a big fan of this 3-game
No.
playoff series, especially in the first round. Um, I understand that there's a lot of green involved when it comes to these things, but it I don't know. It's not for me. Do penalties kind of give you more excitement to watch these 3 games?
No, because you could still create that, right? Do the aggregate, but eliminate the away goal or not even the away goal because you can keep the away goal. Because I know there's like some leagues that do like the higher seed just goes through, so you can still have penalties. So
Yeah.
penalties is not it's not a sell for me for the best 2 out of 3. I don't like it whatsoever. I think it's lame. If I'm not mistaken, the Miami game would have went to penalties in the second one. Levas would have been out. This would have been a whole different story. But then I'm thinking of other games because there was a lot of upsets. I don't know. We'll get to them, but yeah, I'm not a fan of this format. It's very Americanized and just nobody.
MLS.
I mean, at least the big leagues in the world, nobody does that stupid ass best 2 out of 3. Right?
Yeah,
And
well,
then
MLS is gonna
and then,
MLS.
and then one thing we gotta point out, you gotta love, right? Like, despite the fucking fact that Miami and the Messis are out, Don Garber, hopefully this is like a wake up call and a slap in the face, because you know what's gonna happen, and it kind of sucks, right? Is that now you have this break and like the hype from the casuals is gone.
Yeah.
Those ratings will drop.
Yes.
Imagine an Atlanta casual, the Galaxy casual. We've already talked about this. Other podcasts have talked about this, right? If they're like new to it and they catch on the hype of the playoffs, and you're like, "Oh, that shit was dope." You're all freaking hyped. Like, when's the next game? 3 weeks.
Yeah, and it is
right?
a complaint. It's a complaint that when the LA Galaxy was able to take care of business in both games against Colorado, the 3-week wait, even players complained. Like Ricky Poos, he even kind of took a jab at MLS, like, what's going on? What the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
And this thing, that's the thing too. It kind of takes momentum away from the players the teams that have been playing well, particularly the LA Galaxy, who were qualified. They were the first qualified to the next round, and so those type of things is something that Don Garber should look at and maybe not do it again because it's dumb as fuck. But I digress. You mentioned earlier about other upsets in these playoffs. We just seen the number 1 seed, the Supporter Shield winner, get eliminated, and then you get to the number 2. Columbus. Who would have thought that the Columbus Crew was going to get eliminated?
Yeah, but first off, let me correct you real quick.
Yes.
That's point record setting number one seed. Miami has been eliminated.
Yeah.
I think it's cursed, by the way.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there was a year where the Red Bulls were just killing everybody,
The
and
the
they ended up.
Rev, the
It
Revs,
was the Red Bulls. The Red Bulls one year. Then I believe it was LAFC. Uh, the Revs, I believe, was the last team to beat the what's it called
the record,
the record.
the Bruce Arena Revs.
And then and then it was Miami, Inter Messi.
So,
Inter
yeah, it's
Miami.
cursed, dude. It's definitely cursed.
Yeah, so the number 2 seed, Columbus Crew, taken out by New York Red Bulls in a penalty shootout as well. I can't really say that I've watched much of the New York Red Bulls to give you any proper comments on their team, but we know what Columbus Crew is. We've seen them
Yeah.
dominate not only in MLS, internationally. They've done their job in Champions League. Um, Everybody was afraid of this team, including myself.
I,
If this was the team that was going to make it to the finals in the Eastern Conference, they were the team to take out the Messis.
I,
It just didn't
I
happen.
get. I mean, I don't watch Red Bull games either. I never watched them closely. They were an afterthought. I think we all looked past them. Like, oh, it's gonna be Columbus, Miami. But one thing I could tell you, like, I have seen a few Columbus games. Right, they're on all tournaments basically. Maybe you guys saw the same thing. I know Edgar's on the chat, but it just looks like their legs weren't there. Like
Yeah.
their legs were ran to the ground. Like this season was just too long for them. Right? Yeah. I mean, and everybody was just hyped up and. It wasn't the Columbus. I'm not familiar with New York's game. Maybe they stepped it up, with the playoff hype, but it was definitely not the Columbus that I was used to.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that 100%. Edgar right here in the chat says that CONCACAF released their club rankings for November, and Columbus was number 1. And deservedly so. You have players like Cucho, who he was one of the MVP candidates. And just everything that Wilfred Nancy does in that team since they won that championship, he's had a team that's very consistent, and you have veteran players like Nagby in there who could take you to the next level. Could have been dead legs, but the Red Bulls took it to him, and it's a prize win in penalties. I remember one scene from that penalty shootout where Wilfred Nancy didn't even look at the shooters. He was that nervous. He didn't look at the shooters, and
Yeah.
of course, they ended up losing.
Wilfred Nancy was like,
Oh my God.
Yeah, yes, he was. And now another upset: the number 3 seed in the East, Cincinnati, losing to the other New York team. Did you expect this?
uh,
Can I say something?
go for it. Go for it.
I did. I know over the last few months, or at least like the past, like the way as Cincinnati closed out the season, they haven't been well, and I feel like just them not going into the playoffs in like their best form. I feel I kind of knew that this was gonna happen. That's pretty much it. I knew they weren't in their best form. I think they've only won like, I don't know how their record was at home, but I know it wasn't like the best record like in the last few months or the past month. So just overall the way Cincinnati has been playing, I feel was pretty much underwhelming and definitely not the way they were last year.
Yeah, and I buy into also when Spenny was on with the rest of the the rest of the Eastern Conference podcast, where he called them pretenders because it's with stupid Apple fucked everything up, right, with the schedule for us. This is your beat off dead horse already. It sucks to not have those like weekends anymore where you can just lounge around and watch back to back MLS games, right? Because they want to fucking play them all at the same time for whatever reason, right? But then again, Apple has billions, and I'm over here using a 1080p camera, but there's those teams that you try to watch, right? There's teams that draw your interest. Your Columbus, obviously we watch the Galaxy, Miami, what's going on there, and since he's one of those that you kind of try to catch when you can. And like I said, I buy into what Spenny said about being pretenders because it didn't have like the same feel as it did in years past. right? It just seemed like the East is so top heavy
Yeah.
that since he was just the next distant okay team after Columbus.
Yeah, and it seemed like there was a lot for Lucho Acosta to carry with that team. He might need some help, but according to Edgar in the chat, he says Lucho Acosta at FC Cincinnati said his days with the club are pretty much done, and it was something he was already considering before losing to the Pigeons.
Well, there you
Well,
go. I mean, there could have been a lack of interest in him too. Like in the playoffs, it's like, well, I'm out of here. Why am I going to make our season even longer? I don't even want to be here.
I don't even want to be here. On the part of this match ended up going to PKs as well, where they got eliminated. I don't see a lot of PKs. What the fuck? which is to be honest, PKs are dope because they're dramatic, but it means more if it was only like the 2-game system instead of this 3-game shit. I did enjoy watching people miss PKs. I don't know why. It makes it makes me happy to see people seeing miss it, and then going to the last kicker, and then like
Can relate.
shit, the nerves. Can relate. What on the part of the NYC FC? Shout out to El Viejito Maxi Morales, dude. Dude's been there, 37-year-old man.
Talk about Viejito. Shout out to us, bro.
Hell yeah, we played 2 games in a row today, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah. And you know what? You asked me about my day. I forgot to mention, bro. It was okay despite running into a fucking pole and then getting fucking karate kid on the fucking side today.
Dude, side note, I ended up coming home and I was like, all right, I'm gonna shower and I'll be good. I started watching Gotham, got into the series. Dude, first 5 minutes, I just knocked out. My body was said, shut down, bro. You need a little nap.
It's DC Comics, bro. That's why it's not.
Nah, chill. Hey, that show was actually pretty dope.
Little pinche marble.
So NYC ambassadors. I from the 3 that got eliminated, I think the most surprising elimination for me was the Columbus Crew. I really thought that this team was gonna get to the finals again and maybe even repeat a championship run.
Yeah.
But these other teams said, no. We exist too. Which is, as a actual MLS fan, I like seeing more exposure on other teams, in particularly the Red Bulls, who have been here since the beginning. I know they rebranded to the New York Red Bulls, but they were the Metro Stars. And you want to see teams from the old age, from the beginning, do well, and that's one of them. Sucks that Columbus Crew had to be at the shit end of that stick, but you now we're able to see other players, and now we're able to see what these other teams have.
You know what's crazy? I'll just glance at the East real quick and make sure you didn't miss any of the upsets. So if you look at by seeding in the 2 rounds, you count the wild card, only one higher seed has won.
Which is Orlando.
Yeah. And that was that's 4th and 5th. Those are like the closest to each other. So even then, that would have been an upset. So every game was basically an upset that got played.
Pretty much. Well, let's talk about Orlando. I know they kind of they had a rough start to the season. Last year, it seemed like they had all the tools to make a run for MLS Cup or maybe go deep into the playoffs. They come this year, they started off really, really bad. They ended up catching fire like towards the end. And what is surprising to me about Orlando City is that despite all that, it feels like they could be the dark horse of the East and maybe all of MLS. Do you think that's fair to say about Orlando?
I mean, dark horse. There's no more dark horse, really. They're not actually. No, Brian, you're wrong. They're not dark horse. They're the favorites.
Oh well, now.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I guess they were dark horse, but now they're favorites.
I don't see them as the favorites.
They're
In
the highest
Eastern.
ranked team in there.
I don't see them as the favorites though in the Eastern Conference.
I mean, if you're gonna pick a favorite just by what we've seen, I assume everyone picks Atlanta. I mean, if you could carry that momentum, right? You feel 10 feet tall right now if you're Atlanta.
Yeah, that's true. And hold on, my notes are. Anyway, yes, Orlando. So what do you have left on the East? Chewy, if you're able to bring out that bracket so we could look ahead and see what the East is going to offer us in this next round of the playoffs. I want to say that up top of my head, you have, there it is. You have the Hudson River Derby. Is that what they're calling it? New York
Yeah.
City versus the New York Red Bulls. And on the other side, you have Orlando City versus Atlanta United. Semifinals with rivalry implications. The one that I'm really looking forward to is the Orlando Atlanta. Like I mentioned earlier, Atlanta came in on decision day, beat Orlando at Orlando to make this wild card appearance. They beat Montreal. Then they go on and beat the Lionel Messis. What do you think? How do you see this match between Orlando and Atlanta? And that excites you from the East side?
Nah.
Not at all.
East,
Nothing.
nah, the East hype is done, dude. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just at this point it's gonna go to the home team. I'm leaning over here because Chewy's doing great production work.
Hello.
Hello. So I think it's just gonna be the home team going forward because now we're at one offs. I think Orlando makes it to their first final.
Ooh, I would like to see that. And who do you think would be the opponent? We have the Hudson River Derby. I think this is the first time they play in the playoffs, or second time maybe.
Yeah, this is the first time they're in the playoffs against each other. I think that's what I heard.
And this game is going to be played at the Red Bulls Arena, correct?
Yeah, but I think New York City is hosting, I believe.
In front of 43 people.
As if I was in New York, and if I was a New Yorker, I'd be pretty hyped for this match. Just like how we would be when we end up seeing Levas in the conference final.
Yeah, but it's different. It's either gonna play in a stadium that's hard to get to or in a fucking baseball stadium.
There is no winners.
No.
In a loser stand stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, enough of the East. Let's get to these Western Conference playoff matches. Regulators. Let's which one should we start with? Let's start with the LA Galaxy Colorado.
Oh shit.
The LA Galaxy on aggregate smashed Colorado Rapids in a 9-1 aggregate score. Eddie, are we ready for a title? Are we back? Yes.
No, we're not back. By the way,
No empieces.
shout out to Lacuna. They did that interview with Will Coons, and Will Coons, by definition, says, "We're not back till we win a title.
I like
One more
that
time?
deep voice.
We're not back till we win a title." That's Mr. Big Dick Will Coons. All right, so
Wait, did
if
we
he
get
says
Will
it,
Kuntz in the show? What the fuck happened right there?
yeah, right.
Special guest appearance. Wilkins. How was it? How'd it go?
We're not back till we win a title.
And you love hearing stuff like that from your guy, your cook, the guy that's moving everything behind the scenes. And what a turnaround from the LA Galaxy. I know we'll get more into that once the LA Galaxy do play and we talk more LA Galaxy orientated stuff.
Yeah.
But for now,
let's come back to the Galaxy because there's a question we should ask at the end. Because we'll come back. We'll end with the Galaxy. I think we should, and this when we're looking at the playoffs.
all right, cool. Well, let's move on to would you say it's an upset? The Real Salt Lake versus Minnesota, the Loons.
No.
A 3-6 matchup.
I don't think it was. Minnesota, I think over the last few months have been, they've been on a roll. I think they haven't lost a game since September from the last thing I heard. I think they've been doing good. Both games ended 0-0, huh?
Oh my
believe.
god, did it? What a snooze fest!
Definitely
Gross.
snooze fest.
No wonder why I was feeling tired. Hey, imagine like being from Minnesota or Salt Lake and getting a buddy. Hey man, playoff time. Watch these exciting games.
But this is the thing. It went to penalties as well, and those are the things that you want to
Yeah,
see.
fool.
As
Yeah,
a
you're gonna
as a first timer, you want to see that.
you're gonna tell your hey, hold on, sit here
Oh,
for 180 minutes, bro. We're not gonna
no,
see a single
no,
fucking goal. But we're gonna go
nah,
to penalties.
my bad. The second game was 1-1. I think Minnesota scored, and Real Salt Lake tied it up last minute.
There you
The
go.
Houston and Seattle game ended 0-0 both games.
That's a snooze fest.
It was horrible.
But yeah,
Oh, God.
RSL from the beginning of the season, we had them as a very dangerous team. At one point, they were the most dangerous team. Um, don't really know what happened with them. Not saying that
Uh,
Minnesota is to be not to look at them lightly, right? Minnesota is competing at a pretty good level right now, but you would think that RSL as the host team, you'd be able to come out of there and take care of business against Minnesota.
maybe Edgar can touch on this, but another thing that I didn't watch too closely, but at least I kind of like noticed or felt like they started fell off after the Orongo situation.
Suspension. Yeah.
Whatever
When they
happened there,
suspended him.
maybe there's it disrupted something in the locker room, and it was just maybe awkward and weird. It just Orongo was just not. He started on the bench in the last game, so that's kind of crazy, right? To think
Yeah,
of that you're gonna start someone like that on the bench when you need goals.
yeah.
So I assume that situation was not that great. Who's that?
Hi, Nullas. Yeah, it's. I'm not sure if they had the tools to beat us in the next round either way. But you would have wanted to see the higher seeds go up. I mean, our next opponent is Minnesota United, the Loons. We'll end up playing that on a Sunday, and we'll get to that later. On the other side of the bracket, we had Seattle versus Houston. As Guti mentioned earlier, snooze fest. Both games or all games were no, two games were a penalty shootout. The thing that stood out to me in this particular matchup was the red that H received for spitting on the ref like a big dum dum. Um, do you think Seattle looks as dangerous when because they usually come into the playoffs looking dangerous and looking well stacked? Do you think this is the same Seattle we've been used to?
Uh, kind of, yeah, because the way they started, right, and then uh, Smetcher got Smetchering, so I think it's still the same team because of him. But what do you think, Brian?
So for me, Seattle was always been one of the dangerous teams, and one of the teams I didn't want to see anywhere in the playoffs. They've had, and I know I'm probably wrong, but every time we see Seattle in the playoffs, it seems like they're at their best, like they're elite. It doesn't matter how and what position they come into the playoffs, they always seem to make a run at the cup. And even at them playing away, they usually, from what I could recall, in the times that we've seen Seattle play throughout these years, they've always been that dangerous team. Right now, I know they don't have the players that they used to with like Nico Odeiro and all that, but you still have Albert Rusnak, you still have Morris, you still
Diaz,
have Rui Diaz, and this
Stephen
team,
Fry.
yeah, and this team is a team that's been together for a very very long time. And like Eddie mentioned earlier, Brian Schmetzer can't go unnoticed that this man is a really really good coach, great coach, let's say, and so yeah, I'm glad we didn't end up in the first seed because a matchup against Seattle is not something that I was looking forward to.
No, fuck no. That path looks a lot difficult now too.
Yeah.
And then that game that Vancouver put up too.
Yeah, and then let's get into that. Vancouver ended up in a wild card situation, which was pretty weird because they were supposed to be the home team. Something happened that the motocross was in their stadium, so they couldn't have it there. So they ended up going to Portland as the home team, quote unquote. And they ended up winning that game like if they were the home team. Everybody thought coming in, Portland was a hot team. You had Evander playing at an MVP level, ridiculously. Another team in Portland that usually when they go into the playoffs, they're very dangerous. But Vancouver said, nah, you're our children now. 5-0. to move on to the next phase of the playoffs, and they ended up playing our noisy neighbors.
Yeah.
That matchup, do you think LAFC was exposing some weaknesses?
Uh, I don't know, dude. I think Vancouver just fucking played a hell of a game too. I don't know about weaknesses. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was more Vancouver just playing, fucking MLS playoff football. So I can't say that they showed anything that we didn't know from LAFC already. Yeah, I just want to give fucking credit to Vanny, whatever his last
Danny
name is.
Sartini.
Artini. I don't want to, well, but yeah.
He's the MLS Mourinho with his quotes. I love it.
I thought he was like a replica version of Ted Lasso.
Look, that fool looks like Mr. Bean though.
He does look like Mr. Bean, dude. Those quotes are hilarious. I don't have them on me, but what I don't know who sent it in our little MLS chat group chat that we
Oh,
have.
he said
About the Portland. This is about Portland.
well, yeah, what's his name? Neville said
Phil Neville?
God is a Portland fan, and then in response he said, "Well, that's cool, but I don't believe in God." Something along those lines.
See, those are the quotes that we need in the MLS. Those type of sound bites make the game
We got
better. And
we
I
got
love
our
it.
Mourinho.
Hell yeah, Al Mourinho, bro. I love that. Edgar says Seattle have only beaten LAFC once in their last 10 matches or so.
But they've beaten them twice in the playoffs already.
Yeah. And it's basically the same team. Anyway, LAFC moves on, and that's that next matchup. Seattle versus LAFC. Do you think that's the match to watch in the Western Conference, or is it our match against Minnesota?
I think both.
If
of
you're
them
the casual, of course, us, we're gonna watch the LA Galaxy, right?
What? It depends. I mean, you would expect the Galaxy to roll over Minnesota, right? But you see how things have gone around the league, so it all depends, right? I guess on paper, and if you're gonna just like tell a casual to watch a game, maybe it would be Levas versus Seattle because they might duke it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go with that. If I had to take a chance and be like, oh, I'm gonna watch my first MLS game, playoff game, like, well, this one could get ugly quick. So go watch the other one.
True. And of course, once they get eliminated, the MLS admin is gonna be punching the air even harder. So who do you have coming out of this matchup? And without any like hate towards our noisy neighbors, just as a football.
That's gonna be
fan
them.
in
That's
the
gonna be
football
them.
aspect.
I don't want to say. I said it already. It's gonna be them.
Can I?
Yeah.
I honestly
sir.
think. It's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be a really good game. I think both of them don't disappoint when it comes to when they play each other, especially in their last 3 matches they've had in playoffs. First, I know I hate to say this, but I think LAFC they're gonna win, and we're gonna get our match in the Western Conference Final against them.
I mean, that's the storyline that
Yeah,
we
pretty much.
mentioned earlier. Miami got eliminated. Eddie mentioned that the ratings are going to go down. The matchup that you want in the Western Conference Final is the LA Galaxy versus LAFC. El Trápico. Let's be real. This is the best rivalry in MLS.
Let LAFC get eliminated. Then definitely got to do a second wellness check at the Garber House.
Actually, I was looking at some polls that Edgar has sent. He asked, the Eastern Conference is in turmoil after the defeat of the number 1 seed Miami, number 2 Columbus Crew, and number 3 Cincinnati. Who do you think has the best shot of making it to MLS Cup? 33% said Orlando City, 26% said New York City FC, 19% said the Red Bulls, and 22% said Atlanta United. I kind of agree with this one. I think Orlando's going to be in the final.
I think so too. They're gonna be home the rest of the way, and yeah, they're in some kind of run. So, but
Yeah.
I mean, New York City too, with Moxie.
Veteran
They have a
player.
bit, yeah, the veteran player can carry them too. But
And their who's their number 10? I forgot the number 10 already. Something Rodriguez. Who's pretty good. I think he's really good. Really good.
Yes. I think that's their forward, no, their actual striker.
Yeah, I think so.
See, I should probably watch more New York City FC soccer to know these names. But we're gonna end up watching them.
yeah,
So it is what it is. All right, lads. I know you said you wanted to circle back to some LA Galaxy stuff.
dun, dun, dun.
What you got for me, Eddie? Circle me back, baby.
No, because you asked like if this team is ready to go to a final, right? I don't know that. I don't know that for certain. We did what we were supposed to against Colorado, but in reality, we're untested.
Yeah.
We're untested. I need to see. I think Minnesota's a bit of a tougher test. If we win convincingly, then I definitely feel better about our chances. And then going over there, that's the playoff games in that stadium. It's the boogeyman. So we definitely have to pull that one off. So, you asked me today, are we ready? Are you gonna put your money on it? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, it all depends on what happens in the next round. I think if Seattle comes to us, even then, I think I don't remember who I was talking to. Maybe I think I might have been talking to Tony, and we are talking about that. I'm like, dude, even Seattle, we won 1-0 in that rainy game where Morris misses that sitter. We had that 0-0 game in Seattle, which is, I mean, a good result. But I feel we got outplayed in both those games. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's Peck's first goal against Seattle, where the ball slips through Stephen Fry,
Yeah.
right? So without that rain, it's probably we're looking at 2-0 games. So yeah, man, I'm not ready to say. I mean, somebody has to win, right? And it could be us, but I'm just scared to say, yeah, we're definitely ready.
Guaranteed. None of that. None of that Charles Barkley stuff. Well, what are some of the things that you did like about the matchup that we played against Colorado? What are some players to watch? Something that you actually said, you know what, maybe we do have a good chance.
The resurgence of Paintsville.
Yes.
They gave shit to Paintsville for the first game. I think Edgar did too. Edgar, no shit. That's why he's not here. We kicked him out. Breaking news. But even that game, where Vanny moved them forward. Remember, I complained about like, why would you do that? That can like fuck up his confidence. Like, just sub him out. I think he did fine.
Yeah.
And then obviously against Salt Lake, he looked great too. I mean, sorry, Salt Lake. Second game against Colorado, he looked great too. So if Paintsville continues that form, I think we'll be okay. I think Peck had an awesome game in the second game against Colorado, and yeah, and just Ricky continue on his form. But then again, Dayon too. Dayon's still a concern for me. We're gonna need him in some of these big moments, and we need a striker next season. That's number one on our list. I think. Yeah,
Jovelik.
number one on the list is a striker.
Lewandowski.
We'll talk about it when we get there. But no.
Yeah. We'll talk about when we're 0-0 at the Stank and Dayon is by himself and he misses the fucking sitter.
Chill. Nah, he's in LAFC code. What do you mean?
He's speaking into existence.
I do agree with you with the Paintsville thing. When the season started, we were clamoring early MVP for this man, which deservedly so. He was balling. Then the injury happened. Then he came back a little off. I'm very happy to see him kind of catch a certain form in these playoffs. And on top of that, in this break, he got called up to the Ghana national team. So he's going to stay in form. Hopefully he does get playing minutes with his national team. And hopefully
Or not.
or not. I mean, yeah, we don't want to risk injury either. But if he could go over there and come back healthy, it's only going to be to the betterment of this team. And I think we're going to look good in this next round. And it's going to be at home. We're undefeated at home. Let's keep that streak going. And we know that when it comes to playoffs at the Dignity Health Spark, it gets pretty loud in there. So, yes, Yes, sir. Gentlemen, anything else before we get up out of here? I mean, this is a short show. We don't got to go
We're
on
getting
forever.
up out of here, dude. We got some fucking housekeeping. This is why you got to read the notes.
Oh,
Chewy,
yeah. You do some
can you bring up
housekeeping.
can you bring up that graphic for us, bro? So I guess maybe that's why Chewy brought up this background, right? So apparently there was a leak of the 2025 LA Galaxy away kit. Now, where's Edgar still on the chat? Edgar, got that Laker purple in there, baby. I love it.
Boo.
Look at that purple and
Don't
yellow.
Don't do that. Don't do
Yeah, let's go.
that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Nah, but I saw it late, so I didn't send it. But there's like a full jersey picture too. I like it. I like it a lot.
Is it Laker inspired?
No, I don't think so.
So they had to do something with like this the sky.
I
Forgot what, like the
you
sun.
can even spin it
sky.
like as an actual like galaxy type thing, you know, like the actual galaxy, like
Yeah.
the color wave. You know, it looks cool. We've never had anything like this. Edgar's older, you know. Edgar wants fucking collared shirts and buttons on the fucking jersey and shit. So
A long sleeve.
strings.
he wants them in a fucking 100% cotton. You know, dude is old
XL.
school. Those shorts are too long. You know, he gets all mad.
Super
I
chat
can
from
see-
Edgar, by the way.
I can see-
Your expectations for Marco Royce in the playoffs.
If he doesn't get hurt.
That's what I was saying.
Definitely, 100%. I agree with that one.
I'll draw up the scenario. What's gonna happen is we're gonna go to the stank and it's gonna be a tight game, and Royce is gonna come in and calm things down and get that winning assist or just be part of the winning play somehow.
I buy that.
I have
buy that.
spoken.
I buy that. Were you pleased with this performance versus Colorado?
You just
No, I wasn't.
nah, but then it's like I don't know. He's just out there for a jog, I guess.
That's what it seems like.
That guy's done this in high levels.
Yeah,
You know.
it's a walk in the park for him.
Yeah. For all we know, we're not in the locker room. For all we know, that's what Vandy told him too. Is like, go out and get your legs under you.
Yeah,
So why in a game that's done and dusted, you're gonna go in there and risk something?
yeah, that's true.
And I think that was the case in both scenarios when he came in.
Well, we are gonna need a player of his caliber and experience in these later matches of I don't know who farted, but safety.
Darn up, damn it.
Or not. We're gonna need a player of his caliber, a veteran player, like you said, he's been there, done that. Especially if we end up playing our noisy neighbors at their house.
Yeah.
He's used to better environments, more hostile environments. He is the calming presence in that locker room when things aren't going well. There's been games where Ricky's just trying to play hero ball, and you see Marco put his arm around him and kind of coach him on the field and like, hey, calm down.
I always go back to that game when they scored the fourth one, and it's like Ricky seems like the guy doesn't like to be told what to do, right? And the fact in the press conference, he said, Marco, after we scored the first one, told me to calm down. To me that was huge. People, me, I like all this off the ball shit, right?
Yeah.
And that's something I called too when everyone was like questioning the Marco Royce signing. It's like it's a bigger signing than you think. It's not just what he's gonna do on the field. Right? It's gonna unlock Ricky, which it did. I don't care what anybody says. The Ricky hate and whatever. I was right. If it wasn't for the Fagundes injury and Marco Royce coming in, you don't see this version of Ricky. And by the way, and I know Tony agrees, and I don't know if Edgar agrees. Yeah, 2 goals away to Colorado, but Ricky was not having a great game. Just so you know. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't. I agree. He was
Fight
there.
me.
I think that first half, we didn't have a good half. And then I think we were, I was going to say, that whole thing with like, oh no, Ricky trying to hog the ball and take it down and all that stuff. That kind of appeared a lot in the first half, pretty much of that game.
But 2 goals to keep his confidence up, which
Yeah.
even if
Oh,
you're having a bad
absolutely.
game,
Yeah.
even if you're having a bad game,
Absolutely.
those type of things.
No, that's
stay with you.
fine. I say everyone's gonna have a bad game. I'm just I'm just being petty. Back to the jersey.
Back to the jersey. All right.
What's your thoughts, Brian?
I want to see it fully, like full kit.
Here we go.
The
Fool.
color scheme.
Here we go, fool.
Yeah, well, it's always like that. I want to see it
I feel
fully. Go ahead.
This is gonna be one of those kids where we say, "Oh, it's horrible. We don't want it. What are they thinking?" But the minute like we start seeing like actual pictures of it and all that, we're gonna be like, "We need it. I need it in our life." You know, we're gonna buy it. I need 5 of those by tonight. You know.
Brian doesn't get that opinion because Brian has said that for the last like 10 jerseys he's like, and that fool hasn't bought a jersey since like 2014.
I have the green one.
Which one? The one from 2021 or what?
Yeah, the green one. I have it. I haven't bought any of the new ones, but I'll get there soon.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
kind
when you-
of the same. I didn't buy the California one, whatever the Jamaican
LA one?
California
LA?
connection. Yeah, I didn't buy that one. I
remember.
didn't really like the colors.
That one was dope. I like that one a lot. Ustedes no saben nada por eso.
Tony says that the jersey is LA Sunset inspired.
Yeah, that's
Which,
what it
I mean,
was.
yeah, it makes sense. But
Does
we're
it?
not in LA supposedly, so
Oh, that's how it looks above Carson, baby, above the IKEA. It's beautiful.
IKEA. Remember, it's IKEA.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
IKEA.
Oh, yeah, forgot.
My apologies, my lord Zlatan.
That's what
My
it looks
Lord
like on
Father.
top of the Champions Lounge.
I've always had this scenario of like, what would Zlatan be doing with this team if he was the main striker?
Who would he slap on the team?
That's a good one. Let's play that one.
Who would he push?
Ricky.
He would have pushed Ricky. Yeah, he would have pushed Ricky early.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I
don't
Ricky,
think so.
I think Ricky.
Yeah.
I think Ricky and Dayon.
Oh yeah, I like Dayon too.
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh no, I got it.
So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry though. He would have pushed Jalen.
Yeah, maybe. Like,
Toughen
toughen
up.
up, kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Toughen up, kid. Shout out to Jalen, though. He's going to be
Hey,
our future starter.
Everyone on the chat, drop $5 and tell us who you think he would push.
All right, we can remove that jersey. I do want to see that in full thing.
That
though.
beautiful jersey? No, it's okay.
I don't want to see it in full. Anything else before we take off, sir?
Oh my God, yes. There's another one, Brian. Come
on,
on,
boy.
man.
Let's see. It says new kid.
No,
That's it.
no,
Oh wait,
No.
am I the one tab?
no. I didn't write the next one down, but because I forgot, to be honest. But the dude, come on. A rivalry that people want to say is dead just got reignited, bro. Bruce Arena.
Oh yeah. Woo! Bruce Arena to the Smurfs.
Yeah, I hate it, but I love it, dude.
Yes, I'm with you on that one. We've discussed this on some of the chats that Bruce Arena likes to spend money on players. I don't think San Jose likes to spend money on players. What do you think is gonna happen in that front office? Because there's gonna have to be a whole.
Oh, I think he's gonna be sporting director too, or some shit. So he has to. Bruce is not dumb either,
Yeah.
right? Bruce, look what Bruce does. Bruce likes to take full control of teams, right? He created a Red Bulls team that I think is the one that broke the record, and then fucking for whatever reason they wanted Osorio instead. Fucking blessing for us, right? So then Osorio comes in and shits the bed. He came in here to the Galaxy, created a fucking dynasty. He leaves, what happens? Crumbles. He goes to New England, puts
Sets
him on
a
track, breaks the record again.
Something happens.
Caleb Porter happens, and
No, the only reason why he left was because something happened.
yeah, we weren't there. He wasn't canceled, so let's let's just leave it at that, right?
Not yet.
Give it a year.
What the fuck is that? That looks nothing like Bruce.
What the hell is that?
This Bruce.
But no, yeah, it's
Looks like my
Bruce
boss.
is not dumb. Bruce doesn't sign deals unless he gets control of things, right? I think he made Robert Kraft give him a training center and be there to welcome. I think Carlos Hill is who he welcomed. He welcomed one of the DPs, which fucking Kraft doesn't even know he has a soccer team sometimes. But this room made him fucking come in and meet their DP signing. So Bruce ain't dumb. Bruce ain't worried about not getting the money. He's gonna go in there, and I think in a couple years' time, which is very interesting too, because I know Edgar is like, oh, he actually just mentioned it right now. He says the Earthquakes recently denied funding by the County of Santa Clara for a new practice facility because county has no faith in their owner, John Fisher, for what he did to the Oakland A's. So, which is interesting, right? Because the Oakland A's are moving to Las Vegas, and there was rumors of there you go. That looks a lot better. Uh, that they're looking to move the Earthquakes too. I think one of the podcasts that Edgar had on mentioned that was like a rumor going on, or fear maybe going on, that this team is looking to move out as well. I mean, their stadium is weak. It looks like a high school stadium, you know. So
Like USL Stadium.
yeah, like a USL stadium or something. So it doesn't have like a professional feel, you know, to it.
That field is horrible.
But no,
too.
yeah, back to the point is Bruce ain't no dummy. This is gonna be it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun, right? Because now you have San Diego coming in as well. You know, all of a sudden
California Cup. Let's
yeah,
go,
it's gonna
baby.
be California is gonna be the the capital of soccer. So of U.S. soccer. So that's gonna be really fun. Hopefully we just end up on top, but
Yeah.
you gotta step it up.
This rivalry is hopefully comes back soon, because the fact that I hate the fact that El Tráfico got pushed way hard over this fucking old rivalry with the San Jose Earthquakes.
I mean, don't get it wrong. Our rivalry is still San Jose, but I get the idea that
But it doesn't feel that way. Not even for us, because San Jose's
Yeah,
been
not no more.
so irrelevant, and it's not our fault.
Yeah,
It's not the
and
Galaxy's fault. It's it's their fault. You know, they're not giving us nothing to play with here.
yeah, and that's what
This is
what I was
this
gonna
is
get
like
to.
this is like if Seth Rollins went to AEW, that should be whack. Seth Rollins is just
Nah,
fucking.
come on, come on. You still got MJF in there. You still got Kenny Omega. He be wrestling some good guys. Anyway,
Now
enough
you're
of
just making
wrestling.
them names.
I was gonna mention that with the new Bruce Arena hire, I hope that this team in the San Jose Earthquakes are competitive, um, because of those reasons that you guys mentioned. The rivalry, what it could mean for California as being the mecca of MLS and soccer in general in the United States, and then with the San Diego team coming up, I hope they're good as well. I want them to be. I want there to be a competitive nature between all California teams. You have one Northern Cali team and
Southern.
three Southern California teams trying to, let's say, fight for the love of California, and it'd be pretty cool if they were all really good.
Insane.
I just sent you guys the picture of the kit, by the way.
All right, for
So you
sure.
can see-
Edgar says, "Who do you think will end up being San Diego's biggest rival?"
LAFC.
I think it'd be us since we're closer
No,
to them. No.
I
Oh well, this was
I heard I heard little birdie out there said that they want LAFC more than us.
So I'll just say this. There's like two podcasts already that are out for San Diego. Both podcasts. The only reason they came across my radar is because they have Galaxy tags on them, because they both are saying that the people want the shit against Galaxy.
Mhm.
So that's coming from podcasts from people. I don't know if the front office is trying to go against LAFC to build that against LAFC, but people don't like Galaxy only because they're Galaxy fans. They were. So
Let them
they have all said it. They've all were Galaxy fans, and now they have their team. They're gonna switch to their team.
let them have LAFC, so we can
So
reignite a rivalry with Townsend. It's gonna be easier to write the script to have the rivalry with San Jose because of Bruce.
Yeah.
They can try to force that San Diego rivalry, but I think fans are gonna gravitate towards the Smurfs
Yeah.
more now because of what's going on. So they can try to fabricate something, but I don't think
They
the
still
fans
need
are
to
gonna
have Smurfs. Still need to have a good team, and Bruce Arena is
Oh, dude,
I don't know.
Bruce works fast. Bruce works fast. Next season they're in the playoffs. tell you right now.
It's gonna be a hard selling
Oilo.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Eddie. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep. Clean
yeah,
up.
yeah. We all did. We all did that. We all did that for a few years, didn't we, Bray?
Yeah, we did. Hell yeah. Busarina's that guy, bro. What the fuck?
Exactly, and he's not anymore. A la chingada.
Yeah. So
No,
yeah.
he-
Well, now he's not.
I
But
think
he-
he still technically is. I mean, like I said, like look at the way he did with the Revs. I think he pretty much brought him somewhat back to life, even though they didn't win MLS Cup in 2021. It's he got his team. He did good, and for me, I think him going to the San Jose Earthquakes, even though it sucks because of the history he's had with this, but like we said, hopefully it just helps out the rivalry.
Sprinklers turned on somewhere.
See how it goes.
What's going on over there with his mic?
Sorry, that was my fault. I farted. I
Doorknobs.
farted.
He's trying to challenge his inner edge.
Damn, Guti, he was having such a good point until this was farted.
Oh, I didn't think it was gonna be that loud. Sorry.
That's
I got Snoop Dogg over.
Steamy. It was a steamy fart.
Antonio Banderas says San Diego FC's biggest rival is going to be either Sanjo Levas, or any left or butthurt loyal fans. Loyal, damn.
See, that's why I'm against the whole San Diego FC thing. It's messed up.
They should have had.
It should have
the
been the
name
loyal.
Loyals. You should have just kept that, dude. Whatever.
Yeah.
They're all from Levas to San Diego. They're all ex-Galaxy fans.
It reminds me of Manny Machado.
Anyway, Eddie, anything else?
But wait, there's more. One last thing, I think, unless Edgar has something or Chewy has something. I don't know what this means, right? We're not behind closed doors. How big of an impact this is, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. But one Michael Stevens has departed
Yes.
from the LA Galaxy and
Off
has
to
gone
Chicago.
to join, Chicago. Greg Berhalter in Chicago over there. Another interesting project going on over there too.
Yeah.
Because as much as I wanted him out of the U.S., I feel for some reason Berhalter is just a better club coach. So I would not sleep on Chicago.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, we knew he left a couple months ago, right? Like that was public that he was gone.
I didn't know that. I mean, if it is,
It was
then-
it was on Instagram. Like they even said a goodbye thing.
well, Chewy.
Maybe.
I would have you know that maybe the world has forgotten about me or something, but I do not have. Or,
Yeah.
That's a lie. That's
I
a
mean,
lie.
I do, but my algorithm is like silk screening and British jokes.
Seems legit.
Right now.
Tony says San Diego FC is brought to you by the guys who brought you Levas.
Made out of 100% recycled plastic.
I like
Sponsored by
that
Waste Management.
one. Yeah. You were saying so. Okay, the whole Stevens thing. Do you remember the first time that he got announced with the LA Galaxy? We kind of shitted on this man.
I mean, it's kind of, what do we really know though?
Yeah. Well, now we know. Now we know he helped construct this team that we have now. Hopefully, it's Chicago Fire, another team that's been there from not '96, but they were there from the early years. Another team you would like for them to kind of come back up and be a menace in the East. Well, hopefully not win any more titles than us. Edgar says,
go eliminate Miami next year.
Miami Nate.
Your turn.
Yeah. Edgar mentioned a good one too. The Jim Curtin thing. Philadelphia parted ways with Jim Curtin. A coach has been there for a very long time.
That's an interesting one, right?
Yeah.
After like, I mean, all franchises are gonna go through their slumps, and I don't know. I don't feel like they ever like broke the bank with them, and they did more than decent. They made it to an MLS Cup. I don't know that, and then he's still in the books, right? It's like,
For 2
and
more years.
unless they have somebody online already, or maybe they thought they were gonna sign Bruce, it's kind of weird, don't you think, for him to just cut ties with someone like Curtin?
Yeah, it could have been maybe just a dispute with Jim Curtin and the front office.
Maybe-
Hey, I need
maybe
money
he-
to get more players.
Maybe he bruised it, He said something he shouldn't have. Yeah, closed doors.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not a Philadelphia fan, but from the outside look, like seeing this, I'd be pissed if I was a Philadelphia fan.
Just
Edgar
looking at
also
what
says, apparently the Philly ownership refuses. See, I just mentioned that refuses to spend, and he's constantly upset with that. Yeah, that would do it. You want to be competitive. You want to, especially with a team you've been with for so many years. You want to give the city of Philadelphia something that they can be proud of, MLS wise. You want to win titles. You can't do it just with no DPS. I mean, the league has changed. We need
yeah.
DPS to be competitive in every single aspect, and the role players are going to help those DPS be the best version of whatever team you're on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Philadelphia,
And
yeah, fuck that up.
read Antonio's comment. It's kind of funny.
Antonio Banderas, ugh, guacatela. Let Cholos be the first Mexican MLS club and let them duke it out in the border and open.
Damn, too soon for the election just passed. Why are you throwing shit out like that?
Just like those Cascadia Cup commies lovers. Yeah, let them duke it out on the border. That'd be funny. Dude, if Tijuana was in MLS, that'd be kind of tight. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, they're trying to do something, right? With the stupid cup, whatever it's called.
Yeah, the Stupid Cup. That's what it's
That
called.
one. I forgot. I literally did forget. I forgot what the League's Cup.
No, that's it. Yeah.
The name even sucks, right?
The League's Cup.
Stupid Cup. Anyway, we got anything else before we get up out of here?
I think that's it. Arriba los Lakers.
Arriba los Clippers. We will be playing Minnesota United. Hopefully, we could get a midweek going with the guys from the Lunacy podcast. They've been on before with us, and hopefully, we could get more in detail about what they got going on over there and why they've been able to be successful this season and to get to a semifinal of the Western Conference. So that does it from us here at News Across the Galaxy. From Eddie, Goots, Edgar in the chat.
You can find me in real life. Don't look for me on social media.
I
Brian,
forgot.
Chewy, where can they find you? Wait,
Hold
you're
on,
last,
hold
Chewy.
Hold on. You can find me as Bryant Nags on IG and on X. Goots, where can they find you?
I'll promote my photography page. Just Flicks by Guti, pretty much. I got your guys' pictures coming out soon, hopefully.
And his OnlyFans plus size modeling.
Yeah.
yeah.
And a new logo coming soon, thanks to Eddie.
It's Goots. It's Goots by Goots.
Gooch by
Goots
Goots.
by Goots. Oh my God.
And then Chiaso, where can they find you?
You guys can find me as Chavez JA, Chavez Ha on all my social media. Pretty easy, pretty simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can find me at Will Koontz.
No,
Leading the LA Galaxy to their sixth cup. I love it. I love Will Coons. Thank you, Chef. All right, now it does it from everybody here at News Across the Galaxy. From Eddie, Goots,
You remind me of
Edgar in the chat.
who I really am.
you got some of the ones and twos, and myself. We up out of here. And as always, Wu-Tang for life. Get better, Edgar, and keep on nagging.
Keep on nagging.
keep on nagging.
Keep on nagging.
Cholo day on time, baby.